Hey everybody, just got this brand new tool in the mail today and I wanted to show it. I haven't found any reviews of this or very much from this company, which is Lang Tools, which is based in Wisconsin. And you can look up their website, langtools.com. They sell pretty much all their tools direct through their website. They have a pretty good selection of tools. And some of their tools they sell through Amazon. So I got this actually from Amazon. It was a very similar price to what you could get on their website, but it was free shipping from Amazon. So I went ahead and did that. Although you'll find, I think, a better selection if you go to their actual website, because they have a lot of, they have wrenches, they've got specialty tools. I think they're well known for their thread repair kit. But it's an interesting company. I'm trying to learn more about them because they seem to do a lot of tools for OEM manufacturers. So they make tools for other companies that will then resell them under a new brand. For example, Snap-on, I think they use their rethreading kit. But if you want to get the cheapest price on that, you can actually just go to Lang, and they will sell you the same kit that Snap-on does, but at a considerably lower price, but yet with a different warranty. So I looked at this. This is a bit ratchet. It actually looks like a fidget spinner because of its sort of trilobular design. And they said this is supposed to give you really good torque. Now, when I looked at it on Amazon, one of the reasons why I picked this is, first of all, this is really affordable. For a made in the USA bit ratchet, you'll find that the equivalent ones from, say, SK probably cost maybe twice as much as this. SK makes really nice tools. Of course, they make their tools in the United States, and Lang is also made in the USA. But Lang has really good prices on their stuff. So this is what really interested me about this. This is like $25, I think, that I got this for, and this is a 6-piece set. It's got 4 bits and it's sort of an adapter, and then the actual ratchet itself. And I have not yet opened this. Looking on the back here, let's see if we can zoom in. All right. So I don't know if you can read this here. Made in the USA of Global Components. So take that for what it is. This will kind of show you to scale. This is just a straight up Sharpie. They didn't show on Amazon that it comes in this case, this plastic case, and that was actually kind of neat. I'm going to try to open this without destroying the case. It has some markings on how to open it. It says cut, but I'm not sure if they mean cut this off or what else I'm supposed to cut. So I'm going to figure that out and then try to get this open, because I like this case such that I'd like to actually use this case to keep all this together, because this looks like a really neat set, something that's going to be very useful going forward. All right. So getting this open was kind of interesting. Actually, it's one of those things. Plastic packaging is sort of thing which you always wonder, how hard is it going to be to get it open? And I feel like this is one of those things I probably could have done a little bit better. I ended up trying to start with a pair of scissors. These are just regular scissors, maybe about 5 inches long. And that was not working too well for me. So then I got my little electronic snips, and these are just not strong enough to go up against this kind of, relatively thick plastic. So then I went ballistic and just got my NWS side cutters, Fantastico side cutters, which will cut, they'll cut through steel, so they'll cut, if these will cut through panel wire, they'll cut through this stuff. So, I got this off, and then still had a uneven cut. I still haven't trimmed this down up here on the top super well, but I will do that in time. And the way this works is that it wasn't obvious to me from the beginning, because you had that plate here. It's covering up this whole thing. And you just wonder, well, how's that supposed to open? And it opens like this. This clip here on the front actually presses down. And again, this was up like this. So this little clip here will press down, and then it will lever up this side, and then it will come apart. You can see that it's still a little bit tricky, but because of the way it was, oh, my cat has decided to join us. Because of the way I ended up cutting it and struggling to get it off, I ended up cutting part of the latch. Here she comes. She's curious. Cutting part of the latch mechanism unknowingly, which is why I'm showing you this, so that hopefully you can avoid the mistakes which I made. And then it comes apart like that. So hopefully you can see how this works. So pressing this down it'll kind of fulcrum up like that, and then you should be able to open this. So I guess it still sort of works, but I can't open it without touching the latch. So that's what I did to this. I kind of bollocksed it. I kind of wrecked it a little bit. But that's not the end of the world, because I'm not completely decided on whether I even like the case. And here's why. Okay, I can get this out, no problem. And then you can see we've got two Phillips, one flathead or slotted, and then an adapter. And this is an adapter for from hex to a 1/4" hex to 1/4" square. So that would allow you to use this on 1/4" sockets. And this is kind of nice. Just kind of fits in there, magnetic fit. And that's a pretty snug fit for a 1/4" hex, I think. Not bad. And so this has a little ball bearing detent on this, as you can see. Maybe if I zoom in just a bit. Here we go. Trying to look for any markings on this piece. It looks like a very well made piece, actually. So I like that. Okay, this is, I haven't even taken this thing out of here yet. So it's Lang USA patented, and that's the part number. So this is looking pretty good so far. This will, it looks like they've really made this case so that it holds these things pretty well. This also doesn't seem to have a lot of markings on it. Again, this is the first time of getting this out of here, so that's pretty good. All right, so what I'm trying to do is decide how much I like this case, this little plastic case. So this comes out. The question is, can I get this out? And I tried a couple minutes ago. Okay. Ooh. Okay, I got it out. So this looks like a Phillips number 1 and number 2, right? Phillips and wait a minute. PB1. Okay, Phillips B1. I don't know what one. I don't know what the B stands for. I have no idea what the B stands for. Wants to go in like this. And this is obviously a PB2, which means it's PB2A, of course. Yeah, so PB2A. Not sure quite what that means. So let's try to get this slotted driver out of here. So it's definitely harder to take the inside one out than the outside one. Maybe it'll be easier over time. Not sure. All right, so that's out. It's like 6-8P or something. So it's, oh, 6-0.8 maybe? Yeah. So it's probably a 6 millimeters and then 0.8 millimeters. Actually, these look really well made, these bits. So I don't know who makes the bits, whether it's Lang or somebody else. But they look pretty well made. Yeah, pretty good. All right, next let's look at this guy. All right, so this little ratchet, that comes out pretty easily. Okay, again, you basically have, so Lang on this side, USA patented on this side, and then I believe that's a part number. Although on the actual packaging here, this is something 22. What is it? Oh, 5222. 5222. 6569 is the part number. This must be an individual part number. Okay, so then let's get a Phillips bit. Again, these bits, I guess they would stay in place if you dropped it, unlike this, which probably would not stay in place. Well, they're kind of hard to get out of here, so I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't know if you can hear that. That's a pretty nice, actually, fine-tooth mechanism. I wasn't expecting it to be this fine-tooth. That's pretty good. All right, and so this is actually, comes out of the box for me in the unscrewing direction. So, all right. So then to reverse, do we have a reverse? Don't know. Oh, yeah, right here. This is your reversing lever. And oh, this is just for your, you could turn it just using this little wheel, or indeed you could turn it using the whole thing. So this is anchored somewhere inside. Oh, that's a good idea. And so this is pretty low. This switch, as you would expect, if you're trying to thumb this around, which isn't that easy to do, you really need 2 fingers to do it, almost. Okay, you can kind of do it. So if you're thumbing this around, you know, you don't want this to be a high-profile switch, which it isn't. It just takes a little bit of pressure to flip that switch, and you can see how far it is. Just flip it. So interestingly, the finishing around this, it almost feels like it's, like this is some kind of a plastic type of finishing. And then you've got some rivets, or, yeah, it looks like this whole thing is riveted together. So you're probably not going to be taking this apart, unless I'm missing something. Yeah, you're probably not going to be taking it apart. But in terms of thickness, the actual body of this is not much thicker. I mean, when you look at the depth of this, if you just put the bit in, you can see it goes in probably up inside of this cap. So this is a pretty thin mechanism. So I would say that as in terms of the thinness of the ratcheting, of a ratcheting mechanism, this is pretty good. This will be used as an extension. So let's see, goes in there. Kind of does feel magnetic. So yeah, it's definitely magnetic. Not super strong, so it's not going to be hard to get things out. But it'll hold, certainly this. I don't know if it would hold a really long extension. If you had a more than a 6-inch extension on there, I'm not sure that it would hold that. Yeah, pretty good. All right, that seems to be working. Not bad at all. So I have to give this a thumbs up for at least the part that I'm seeing so far. I have some SK Thumbwheel ratchets as well. I have the 1/4 inch and the 3/8 inch. I really like those. Those are awesome. But they come out with a square drive, so you would have to use you would basically use this and end up with the same configuration as those SKs. And the SKs are just beautifully made. Of course, they're chrome and everything. I could show those. One thing this does not have, this is not a quick release. Well, as you'd expect, this is not technically a, well, it's ratcheting, it's a bit driver, so of course it's not quick release. And then this is not going to be quick release. So if you go to pull a socket off of this, you're more likely to pull it out of this and then have to separate it from the little mechanism. But this looks great. Very low profile, very thin. I would say it's only 5 millimeters thick or so. In fact, here it is next to this 1/4 inch bit. So it looks like it's almost exactly a 1/4 inch, maybe just a little bit wider than a 1/4 inch. So that'd be like 7 millimeters. Is kind of what it's looking like. This be the body of it being 7 millimeters, and then you have the head here is a little bit more. Wow, that's pretty nice. And for an American-made product, 25 bucks, and you've got this. Of course, with Amazon, you get free shipping, and then reversing. Wow, awesome. Yeah, I think I'm going to like this. It's going to be nice. And because it's such a small little case, you know, if I can figure out the closing mechanism, the hardest part of this was actually just opening it. Which honestly, you know, for companies like Lang and others, how much business are they doing at retail stores? If you go to engineer a case like this, do you want to make it hard to open your thing, particularly if people get their stuff through the mail? I ordered this through Amazon. You can also order it through Lang Tools direct, langtools.com. And since the first thing that people are going to be experiencing of your product is the packaging, if you want something that's hard or confusing to take apart, there is a little bit of writing here, which is so, I don't know if it's just unhelpful, but it's very kind of tough to read. You can see, seems to say cut, and then it has a pair of scissors or something. But what do you cut? You cut the whole top of it off, and that's what I started with. And that didn't let this latch loose. But it turns out that there must be some other part of this that I wasn't getting quite right, or I needed to pry it open for the first time, or something about opening it, which I didn't understand. And the consequence is that I don't have a very healthy mechanism. And the way this clip is actually on the facing out, facing this way. And so this would actually need to, this part here will actually need to be square. And then this would have to go in under it. So that means that I've cut the top of this square off, I think. Is that right? I might just, well, wait a minute here. So if that opens it, but it's opening it into the, boy, that actually, I'm sorry, that just makes no sense to me. So if it's supposed to be clipped, and then do you open it by engaging that clip? That doesn't make any sense. So see what I'm saying is you press down on this, I would guess, unless you press up, unless you're supposed to, Press okay, that must be what you do. So this is pressed in, and rather than pressing down like I said earlier, you're supposed to press up. Up. You're supposed to push this up like maybe you had a screwdriver in here and rotated it. Push this up, and then you oh, that's what I did wrong. Well, hopefully before you opened yours, you saw this, and then you know that you need to press this thing up. And then whatever you're supposed to cut, that's what you cut. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure that if, something, then I wouldn't have done this like that. Whatever. Who cares? I mean, the case sort of works. It still sort of holds together. Let's see. Upside down. Let's zoom that out a little bit. Okay, well, it seems to be holding together. So this is so small that it really, I mean, I have pretty big hands, but it fits easily into the palm of my hand. And yeah, I like it. I think I'm going to keep this case. I'm going to keep my cat too. I'm going to keep this case. I like it. And even the fact that I messed it up just a bit. Maybe I can put some hot glue or something and fix this part which I messed up. I don't know. But in terms of mechanically, I think this is a great deal. I would recommend this. I have the metric and the imperial set of Lang ratcheting offset wrenches. I'd recommend those too. I haven't reviewed those, but they are pretty cool. I think they're great. They're not as fine tooth as this is. This is more of a fine tooth mix. This feels more like a 60 tooth or maybe 72 tooth mechanism. This isn't going to be like your SK 1.7 degree type of ratchet. They have their X-frame ratcheting wrenches that are pretty amazing. But this feels similar to their Thumbwheel ratchets from SK, which I mention I really like those. So yeah, I definitely recommend this. This is a really good price, 25 bucks or so, and you can get this either through Amazon or through Lang Tools Direct. Lang Tools is free shipping if you order about 100 bucks. You will spend more than that if you get their ratcheting wrenches, which you can take a look at those. Those are pretty good. The offset ones that I got, each set works out to about 100 bucks. If you get the metric 7-piece, and then they have an SAE 5-piece, but you can complete it with this 2 more. I should do a review on that because I have some more suggestions for Lang. But yeah, Lang is a American-made company. This is made in the United States. Probably there's some global componentry in here. If I had to guess, it would be either they're using steel from somewhere else, or these bits might be made in who knows where. Because the bits didn't seem to be marked or anything, and I don't know that they sell bits as a going concern. I'm not sure that I see that on Lang's website. They have ratcheting bit wrenches. They have ones with handles that are fine tooth, and they have them in sort of 3 or 4 different types. Most interestingly, they have them that are straight. They have them that are offset in like this, inward, and they have them that are offset outward like this. So by a certain number of degrees, I think it's 15 or 20 degrees. Straight, inboard, and outboard, which is kind of neat. But of course I don't have those. But I don't know that they make their own bits. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.